So, by the way, I'm gonna let you know if I hear any family in the back, that's just they're over here because we just watched Bama beat Georgia 29 straight games they won in a row, and the streak stops where it stopped last time, pretty much, or where it kind of started last time with Alabama in the SEC title game. This makes it 4 times in a row they have beat Georgia in the SEC title game. 2012, 2018, 2021, and now in 2023. This one was probably the most shocking out of them all. Most surprising out of them all because it's not really. I mean, people knew Bama had a chance. I knew Bama had the chance. It was about how they won. A bit more surprising. I did not expect the reason for Bama to win the game was mostly because of how Georgia's defense just couldn't stop the run. I was not expecting that to be the case. I thought anything Georgia's defense would be the reason why Georgia would win more than anything. Their offense was very good, and let's discuss everything. Start off the game, couldn't start off any better for Georgia. I mean, you got to stop, very easy, not easy, but very successful stuff there. Got after Milroe. They showed that they're running two spies. So they're not going to really blitz much. They're going to keep two spies out and work the first drive. Then Georgia gets on a drive, gets a running play for a touchdown. Good start for Georgia. Bama gets stalled out again. They have to punt, and then Bama's defense just clicked. They just were able to get after the quarterback, put some pressure on him, defend the coverage very well. Defend the receivers very well. Yes, probably did help that Brock Bowers and Lyle McConkey were banged up while playing, but still very, very impressive that they were able to. And Georgia got stopped. They had to punt. Bama got good field position. Went on and got a field goal. I'm pretty sure it was a holding call at one point on Bama that set them back a bit. And yeah. Some of the main things started to show throughout this game was how Bama was going to handle the two spy look. And it seemed to bother Milroe a tad bit early on, but then they started running the ball with Roydell Williams. They did not have Jason McClendon, but with Roydell Williams, they just ran it through. Then you had Jaden Miller. Very, very good, successful stuff that they were living with. And the thing that they were able to abuse the run game was because since it was a spy, they only initially run 3 or 4 people, rush them. So Williams was able to get there, and then you had Milroe's runs, and they were 8 or 9 yard plays. So that was a big thing. And Milroe started off a little bit inaccurate, but then he started picking it up more. And mainly he tried some deep passes, didn't work. Then he got some more simple passes, and then he had the one to Miller, J.D. Miller, ended up getting a touchdown out of that, and everything started to click. Everything started to work like Milroe usually does. Another guy had a great game today, Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond just played phenomenal. I mean, this guy couldn't have a better 2-week span. He just had the best play, at least one of the better plays in Iron Bowl history with a 4th and 31, the Gravedigger, just last week. And then he has one of those impressive drives from a receiver you're going to see from Alabama in Alabama history of like 4 or 5 catches, 60 yards. Late in the game. Very huge stuff from Isaiah Bond. But a little bit surprised. I didn't think Jermaine Burton was that much involved compared to what I was going to think. But I thought if any receiver was going to go crazy, it'd be Jermaine Burton, not Isaiah Bond. That doesn't mean Jermaine Burton didn't have their fair share of plays. He got a big touchdown. Good stuff with them. The way Bam was able to stop Georgia, though, was that they were able to get pressure, some pressure of 4. Granted, Georgia's offensive line is very good. So it's not going to be consistent pressure. But mainly the coverage was just next level. Carson Beck didn't play a bad game. Did not at all. Played a pretty good game, if anything. They had some miscues, Georgia did. Mainly, one thing I like to do in these type of games, whenever I'm trying to be unbiased as much as I can, at halftime I check both teams, usually Instagram pages, and look at the comments. And see what people are saying. I check Alabama's. Most of them are doing good. Pretty much are saying job's not finished. I check Georgia's. Everyone is yelling, throw the ball. And yeah, that made sense. Bama was able to clog the run. Made Carson Beck throw. Which leads to kind of more of the strengths of Alabama's team. more of being able to get after the quarterback and be able to cover. Because you got Terron Arnold, you got Khalid McKinstry, you got Caleb Downs, you got great secondary players back there. And it made a difference. They were able to handle Brock Bowers for the most of it. He had that one catch to start off with and then slow it up for the first half. And yeah. 2 huge plays in the first half that went against Georgia. One of them was a false start. The false start led to them having to kick a 50-yard field goal instead of a 45. Usually that doesn't make much of a difference. Usually it's, he probably would have made it from 45 when he made a 50-yard field goal, but this kick was one of those. If this was from the 45, it would have gone in because it hit off the right post. And that would have gone in, which would have made it, I think, 10-10 at that time. Other thing I thought was very questionable. The main questionable thing that happened today was the 4th and 5 play after 2 timeouts, won by both teams late in the first half. Miller rolls out, throws a deep pass to Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond slides. I think he caught it. I believe he caught the ball. They said it was a catch, but once he hit the ground, the ball moves a little bit. The ball moves a bit, which Gene Steratore, the dude talking about it, saying that if the ball hits the ground and moves like that, it looks like, without his hands being on the ball specifically, seems like more of just he had, like, the ground helped him out more than anything. And because of that... You want to join?
Yes.
What up? What's your reaction to that? Give your opinion on the game.
Why are we not all reacting together?
You want to react? Come on.
Yes.
What's your opinion on the game?
What game?
The Georgia, Alabama.
You see, when we brought our players out to the field in the second half, there's one thing that we knew that we needed to do, and that was to execute offensively. That's exactly what we did. We marched out Brock Bauer, and he threw the ball directly to the end zone, and he scored a touchdown. Unfortunately, we didn't get the job done, but, that kind of thing just happens sometimes, and, you just got to, no one always wins the blitz, but there's always next year.
Brett, what's your opinion?
Good morning. I'm very blown away that Alabama was able to stay as consistent as they did on offense. Jalen Miller has kind of struggled this year with maintaining his accuracy and everything. Game management has really been a big struggle for him throughout the year.
Management.
So I'm really impressed with him. Very impressed with his last few offensive drives. His 4th quarter was immaculate. Really impressed me. And as a fan of someone who's going to be in the playoff,
Michigan fan.
I'm very worried about the possibility of having to face Jalen Milroe in the playoffs. That's my take on the matter. I was surprised that Georgia didn't really get much going offensively. They really didn't have a lot of successful offensive drives until near the end of the game. But I was just really shocked at how much their defense struggled as well. What do you think about that?
I think that one of the things that... the great camera work, by the way. I think one of the problems that Georgia had throughout the game was their inability to get after Jalen Milroe. Even though they had 2 QB spies, they were able to work around that, mainly by using the run game a lot, that Alabama did. So that had them take away the QB spies, and that led to Milroe being open more on runs, which just led to more opportunities deep down the field, mainly for Isaiah Bond and Jermaine Burton throughout the game.
I'm turning it up down there. All right. Well, now we're looking forward to the ACC and Big Ten championship games. We're looking forward to several punts from Iowa. Really excited about that. Let's show punters to people too, guys.
Yeah. So, that is our reaction for everything. Thank you all for joining.
Brett single.
If you have anyone that you know who's in their 20s, that is a woman.
Very early 20s.
Leave that in the comments.
Freshly 20.
He's sussy among us.
Leave that in the comments that we can hook you up. And sound good?
Sounds great.
So,
looking forward to it.
So, hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.